It is fucking hot in here. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of the Statement series. It's been a little while in regards to prep since I last updated with you in the off-season video. I'm now sitting at 12 weeks out from my first show of the year, so timing's flying on prep already, and Josh has made a lot of changes. So I've got a lot of things to update you on in regard to the cardio I'm on, the food, training, how things are going. So I'm going to take you guys across a bit of a rest day today and a training day tomorrow, where I'll be taking you through a full push and arm session. So I hope you enjoy, give you a little bit of an update of where I'm at. I'm going to go hit cardio now, a round of posing, and it is absolutely steaming in the UK. It's about 26 degrees at the minute, so I'm going to melt in this car if I don't get going. So we've got the Cardio Essentials White Monster. So cardio is in at 3 times a week at 30 minutes. Low intensity, steady state cardio. As long as I keep my heart rate at 130 beats per minute, I can choose whatever cardio form I like. I personally like to use an incline treadmill, a fairly fast-paced walk. I find my lower back gets a bit pumped on the Stairmaster, so I prefer the treadmill. So we've had to implement cardio fairly early on, earlier than last time, simply because we've been having a bit of a tug of war with my weight, and it hasn't been dropping at the rate of loss and speed that we'd like to. We don't want to be behind, we want to be ready slightly early so we can practice peaks and just not have any stresses going into the show because I'm not in condition or anything like that. So cardio's in early, food has been dropped substantially. We're down to 3,030 calories on a training day, which is 425 grams of carbs, 220 protein, 50 fat, and then on a rest day we're down to like 2,400 calories, which is around about 200 carb, 220 protein, and 80 fat. So a lot of changes have been made, a lot of big drops. It still doesn't feel like I'm on prep yet, but I'm going to go in now, head in and get cardio done. It is so hot, so it's going to be sweaty. I'm already sweating. A 30 minutes round of posing, and I'll take that off for the day. Sweatiest cardio sessions I've done. 30 minutes done though, and I'm definitely noticing the benefits from cardio in regards to recovery between sets in the gym in my sessions, and I'm definitely feeling leaner. As you've seen by some of the posing videos, I'm still confused how I'm weighing in the 95 kilos, 94 kilos, yet I'm getting leaner. It's bizarre. I still feel like I've got a lot of weight to come off, probably another 10 kilos, so that's just going to be so exciting once we do strip that off. But like we said, time is ticking, so I'm sure Josh will be making changes when I check in with him tomorrow, so I'll be sure to update you guys with that. But it's time to get home now, client check-ins, eat, get some steps in the sun before the footy. So as you can see, I've got some spaghetti on the go to break my fast for the day. I like to fast on a rest day to around about 1 or 2 o'clock, simply just to bring the proximity of my meals throughout the day a little bit closer together, so I'm not so hungry going from meal to meal in the afternoon, as I find it quite easy to go without food and just deal with a little bit of hunger in the morning once I'm getting cardio, posing, food shopping done, stuff like that. So I'm going to have this meal now. I've been out in the sun a little bit, as you can see, so I've got a little bit red, and go catch England play. Fucking England play at 2 o'clock. What's going on, guys? So it is currently the next day. I've had a busy morning of PT, and now I've got a little gap where I'm going to fit in my push and arm session. So I'm just sitting outside writing out my session and drinking my pre, and I'm going to take you guys along with me, explaining through the session as I walk through it, so you've got an idea of what I'm thinking about as I'm going through these exercises, and you can see what weights I'm on and things like that.
So the first exercise of the push and arm session is an incline cable fly. Throughout the whole of my off season, I placed a fly movement before all of my presses, and that made a huge difference in regards to my overall chest development throughout the off season. I struggle to get a chest connection when I'm doing a lot of my presses, so placing a fly beforehand not only keeps me safer because there's more blood in the area, but also helps with the mind muscle connection. It also takes the chest for a full contractile range while it's fresh, so you've got the ability to get it fully short. So in this exercise, I'm bending my elbows at the bottom to keep my shoulder joint safe, but I'm fully straightening my arms at the top and locking out to fully shorten the chest. And this is a huge mistake I see a lot of people making, and that is not straightening their arms at the top of the fly. They end up crabbing and look like they're trying to hug someone, and they're not fully shortening the chest. So next up is an incline dumbbell press. I've really been struggling to progress this top set over the previous weeks. I dropped 2 reps today, which was so frustrating, but it was very hot in the gym and I struggled to create an effective base to press from as my back was a little bit sweaty. I find as I progress through prep, my pushing exercises are the first to take a hit, unlike pulling legs, which I can maintain almost all the way through prep. So as my body fat drops, especially around your joints and on your back, I find it's harder to create a more stable environment, so that means you can't produce quite as much power. I'd like a little bit more of an elbow tuck on this set, just to keep me safer. So next rotation, I'll be back to work these reps back up with that little bit of a tuck on the elbow. The back off was 45 kilograms, and I managed to get this for 11 reps, which was 1 rep up on last rotation. You really want to think about keeping that scapula retracted throughout, not letting it creep forward and let those front delts take over, and think about driving those elbows across your chest to fully shorten it. So I'm also making sure I stay in my active range of motion here and don't let those dumbbells creep down too far in the length and range to creep into that passive range of motion where that tension will then lift off the chest and onto your passive joints like your shoulder joint. So just making sure I stay within that throughout. So next up, we got a reverse banded Smith press. Now I see a lot of people using bands in the gym incorrectly when they don't know how to set it up properly or the reasoning behind why they are using one. So the reason I've got a band on this exercise is that I want to match the resistance profile of the exercise with the strength profile of the chest. So as our chest is into the lengthened position at the bottom of the movement, it is weaker, and as we get towards the shortened position, our chest is stronger. So that band is going to help me at the bottom when I'm weaker, and then it's going to fully drop off, so that load will fully come into my hands when it's in the shortened range and my chest is stronger. So you don't want that band in place throughout the whole of the rep. It should drop off at least at halfway, and I was not happy whatsoever with this set, as you can see when I get up. Dropped another rep or 2 on this one and just couldn't create a good base. So now that the main pressing work of the session is done, we move on to some lateral raise variations, starting with a cuffed crucifix lateral raise. This is going to take the shoulder for its full contractile range. On the cables, it's also going to provide constant tension throughout. It won't drop off in the length and range at the bottom like a dumbbell would, so it's a great exercise for that. I put in the cuffs in between my wrist and elbow to reduce internal joint pressure, so you're not going to get as much pain on your elbows and wrists as you would if you were holding a D handle. So I'm thinking about driving my elbows up and back. This variation is going to incorporate a little bit more rear delt and traps in comparison to this next variation, which is a standing cuffed lateral raise. This is going to isolate the lateral head a little bit more and remove a little bit of help and assistance from the traps and rear delts. So you've got to go a little bit lighter. I connect so well with this variation, and if you're looking to grow your shoulders, you need to do a lot less pressing and a lot more raises. They can take a lot of volume to hit them frequently throughout the week across a variety of rep ranges, and you should see your shoulders really grow. So now that the lateral raises are done, we finished off the push and arm session with a bit of arms. We've done 1 bicep exercise and 1 tricep exercise. 2 sets on the biceps, 3 sets on the triceps. I only managed to film the seated cable curl, so after that we just done a rope extension to finish. I absolutely love this variation of the seated cable curl using the prime CAS handles, which are absolutely phenomenal. The connection I get on this is so good. I'm focusing on not letting that elbow travel too much, controlling the eccentric, taking it for its full contractile range, so fully straightening the arm at the bottom, fully shortening the bicep at the top. So I hope you guys enjoyed the second episode of this statement series. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see over the next 12 weeks of prep. Like the video to show your support and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos of this series. I'll see you in the next one.